last week was the Chibok parents that went to meet with the president. Hours after they left, some media agencies reported that they received some money. The presidential spokesman went on air and said, no, we didn't give them any money. By evening, that news had changed. The Chibok representative, they issued a press release stating how much, clearly, how much they received. Those that received and those that did not receive. That was after a presidential spokesman had come out to categorically deny. And the worst part was that money, they went to their hotel by 1 a.m. in the midnight. Let's even assume that it was proper and normal to give the parents some, some kind of financial support. But what was the essence of going to their hotel at 1 a.m. in the midnight to wake young girls up to share to 200,000 naira? Was that compensation for the missing Chibok girls? Was that some kind of reparation? That question has not been. Then the last aspect is the gale of impeachment that we've been discussing. I think I read one of the media reports that said that some of the Adamawa lawmakers got as much as 50 million each. So behind what is fueling this impeachment?
$300,000 per legislator.
$300,000. So what is actually at the root of this impeachment is massive corruption. So after those 3 incidents, I lost complete faith in Nigeria's fight against corruption. And that is at the root of everything wrong in Nigeria is corruption. The governance failings, the democratic failings, everything. If you look at it, if you trace it back, it comes back to corruption. Then there are 3 major concerns I just want to talk about. The first one is systematically corrupt countries like Nigeria. They are unlikely to experience satisfactory economic growth. Let me tell you why. That is why the finance minister says we are growing at the economic growth is the fastest in the world at 6.5%. And in that same country that is growing at 6.5%, we also what happened when the National Immigration Service, did a recruitment exam. A vacancy for less than 5,000, millions of Nigerian wenders, 19 Nigerians died. That is in the same economy that is growing at 6.5. That is the fastest in the world. So that's why there's a huge disparity between paper progress and real progress. On paper, because of everything is so unrealistic, economic growth is unrealistic, and its corruption makes it unrealizable. So at the root, what you now see as a consequence is unprecedented levels of poverty across the same country. Then there's another tragedy that happens there is that economic growth is not the only growth worth pursuing. When you focus too much on economic growth, you leave other parts of growth, the social growth, the cultural growth, the political growth. The impeachments we are discussing, and from the analysis you gave, does not show that Nigeria is growing politically. It shows that while there might be paper statistics showing that the economy is moving forward, politically, it's taking 500 steps backward. And the only thing that is fueling that is corruption. Then another thing that is also happening is that this paper, the excessive focus on economic growth tends to create a justification for inefficient governance, for the continued existence of the status quo. If you want to challenge the status quo, they give you paper statistics and quote, oh, this, the finance minister said that at 2011, inflation was 12.4%. Now it has come down to single digits of 9%. What does that mean? To a slum dweller living in Makoko, what does that mean? To a rural farmer in Benue, what does that mean? What major, like a housewife like me can tell you that in 2011, I bought a pint of Gary for 200, and in 2013, it's 500. And if I should do my own mathematics, it's not 12.4% inflation rate. It's above 300. Let's also look at why economic focus on, why the excessive focus on economic is very, very, very deceitful. In 2011, more than 1.4 million Nigerians wrote JAM. In 2011, 2,982 scored 300 and above. Parents screamed, this is unbelievable, very poor result. That is 2,892 scored 300 and above. Parents were screaming that was a very poor result. In 2013, 10, just 10. I mean, out of 1.5 million that wrote JAM, 10 out of 1.5 million score 300 and above. And they call it transformation. If you challenge it, they'll give you paper statistics. Oh, 6.5 economic growth, 6.5 this. Then let me tell you another sector that is dying, the health sector. Something happened in River State that really caught my attention. Every week, every morning on AIT, I can't rest. Once you want to watch something important, they'll start showing you, oh, infrastructure. Then there was a rubber bullet incident injury in River State. River State does not have a single hospital where its senator can be treated.
London.
This is a state that, what River State gets just from allocation in a month is what the entire Southeast gets. They don't have one hospital, just one. There is no state in Nigeria where the governors proudly assess healthcare in their states. No. But they preach economic progress and transformation. Our first lady, I'm sorry to say, says she died in a German hospital. Yes. Many times I compare her with, I look at other first ladies like Mariam Babangida and Mariam Abacha. They left legacies behind, despite being those women have caused me to begin to interrogate what benefits have democracy brought to us. We had military heads, first ladies, build hospitals that today millions of Nigeria can access, and they were using it. We had Mariam Babangida gave birth to her last child in Nigeria, Hafsat Abiola, it was celebrated. But we have a current first lady, each time she has a pimple on her face, she flies to Germany. And they say this economic transformation. I'm trying to understand. Then there's another type of, another problem that corruption causes. It distorts the allocation of economic benefits, favoring the haves more than the have-nots. And one particular policy I will not stop criticizing is the public-private partnerships. What it simply does is that it gives a lot officials the leeway to appropriate public access to themselves. I will continue to, criticize. It is, in fact, that is the legitimizing crime. Anywhere I hear PPP, I shoot it down. No matter the advantages that they have sold Nigeria, there is actually no distinction. It's difficult to distinguish between public and private assets.